ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजय आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। गीता के इस चौथे सत्र में आप सभी का स्वागत है।
We welcome you all to this session on Bhagavad-Gita. In the previous session, we studied 5 primary topics of Bhagavad-Gita: Ishvara, Jiva, Kal, Karma and Prakriti. Now we enter into the first chapter of Bhagavad-Gita. The first chapter of Bhagavad-Gita is known as Vishada Yoga. So before that, I want to discuss on the verse which is visible in this slide, because it is related to Vishada.
चिंतातुराणाम न सुखम न निद्रा क्षुधातुराणाम न बलम न तेजः। तो आप जानते हैं
So
कि
we know
भारतीय
that
संस्कृति में चार
that
प्रकार
in
की
the
बात की जाती है।
Indian
धर्म, अर्थ,
culture
काम और
there are
मोक्ष।
four topics which are
एक
discussed:
हमारे
dharma, artha,
जीवन
kama,
का
and
एक
moksha.
यात्रा है।
So our life is a journey.
जानते हैं कि कभी-कभी बोलते हैं कि जीवन की यात्रा
Many
कैसी
times we
है।
discussed how is the journey of life
तो
going on.
यात्रा का मतलब होता है कहीं से
So
एक
journey
स्थान
means
से दूसरे
to move
स्थान पर
from one
जाना।
point to another point.
यात्रा दो प्रकार से होती है,
Journey
एक
is of two
स्थान से
types.
यात्रा होती है और एक समय में
One
यात्रा
is in the place and one is in the time,
और वो दोनों ही हो
and
रही
both
हैं,
are
हम उसको
happening.
रोक नहीं
They
सकते
cannot be stopped.
क्योंकि हम इस समय पृथ्वी पर बैठे
Like
हुए
now
हैं,
we are
पृथ्वी
on
पर
the
बैठे
earth
हैं,
and the earth is
तो हमारी
is
यात्रा
moving.
है।
So that is also
जैसे
a
आप किसी
journey of
हवाई जहाज
place.
में बैठ जाएं
Like if you sit in
तो
an
आप
aeroplane,
जब बैठे
when
हुए
you
की
are
यात्रा
sitting in
कर
the
रहे हैं,
aeroplane,
हालांकि आपके
you are
पास में
still
जो व्यक्ति
moving.
बैठा हुआ लगता है कि
Although
आप एक दूसरे के साथ में बैठे हैं,
when a person is sitting
यात्रा में
beside us, we may think that
पूरा
actually both
जहाज
of
चल
us are
रहा
not
है तो
moving.
आपकी यात्रा
But since
होती
the
है।
entire aeroplane is moving, we are also
कभी-कभी
moving.
एक जहाज के
So
साथ
the
में
earth
दूसरे
can be
इस तरह
considered like a plane
हालांकि
and
हम एक
we
दूसरे
are
के
on it.
आसपास
And
बैठे हैं
although
तो
we are
लगता है कि
sitting
हम चल
beside
रहे
each
हैं,
other, we may
पृथ्वी
feel
चल
that
रही
we
है
are not moving.
और
But
बहुत
because
तीव्र
the
गति
earth
से
is
चल
moving
रही है
at very
इसलिए हमारी
fast speed,
यात्रा हो रही
we are also on the
है। इसी
journey.
प्रकार समय भी चल
Similarly,
रहा है
time is also moving on.
तो यात्रा आकाश यानी कि स्थान में या स्पेस में
So
होती
the
है और एक
one
समय में।
journey is in the space or
तो
akash
समय
and
भी चल
another is
रहा
on
है
the
और
time
हम
dimension.
इस स्थान में भी चल
So
रहे
we
हैं।
are moving in both the
तो ये यात्रा
dimensions,
करने के लिए
place and time.
हमारे ऋषियों ने कहा कि आपको चार पहिए
So for
चाहिए।
this
जैसे
journey,
आपकी
our
कार में चार
sages have
पहिए
said that we need four wheels,
और अगर
like
वो
a
चार
car
पहिए सही
moves
हैं
on
तो
four
आपकी
wheels.
यात्रा सही होगी। तो वो चार पहिए धर्म, अर्थ, काम और मोक्ष के हैं।
So those four wheels are of
लेकिन अगर
dharma,
कोई
artha,
एक
kama
पहिया
and
भला
moksha.
नहीं है तो आपकी यात्रा जो है वो फिर ठीक
But
से
if
नहीं
one
चलेगी।
tire, if is the tire of one wheel is
तो अभी
deflated,
समस्या
then we
ये
cannot
खड़ी है
move.
हमारे जीवन
So
में
now the
कि
problem in
हमारे
our
पास केवल
life
दो
is
ही
that
पहिए
we have
बाकी हैं,
only
केवल
two
अर्थ
wheels
और काम
left,
के।
artha and kama.
और धर्म और मोक्ष के दो पहिए वो निकल के
The
बाहर हो
two
गए।
wheels of dharma and moksha,
ऐसे
they are
पहिए
out
हैं ही
of
नहीं।
the vehicle.
ऐसी बहुत संस्कृतियां हैं जिसमें
And there are
धर्म
many
को यहाँ
cultures
तक
in which dharma and
दिखाया
moksha are
करते
not
थे कि
even
वो
discussed.
नास्तिक प्रवृत्ति
To
के लोग हैं,
nowadays,
उनका ना धर्म
mostly
से कोई
people are
लेना
of
देना, ना मोक्ष से कोई
Nastic
बात
nature.
करना।
So there is no talk of dharma and
दूसरा अगर
moksha.
किसी के पास है
And
और
if
वो
some
उसमें
people have
विश्वास करते
also,
हैं
if
तो
they
उनके
believe
पहिए में
in
हवा
this,
नहीं है।
then they, even though they have the wheel, but the
क्योंकि
tire
हर
doesn't have
व्यक्ति जो
any
है
air
वो
in it.
अर्थ और काम के लिए ही
So,
प्रयासरत रहता है इस समय।
human being is mostly
क्योंकि
working
बचपन से
hard
यही
for artha
सिखाया
and
जाता है, माँ
kama.
बाप भी यही कहते
From
हैं कि
childhood,
पढ़ो
we
लिखो
have
कुछ
studied
बनो,
this. Our parents have taught this
और
only
काम
that
करेगा
study,
तो
otherwise you will die out of hunger.
तो इस
How
श्लोक
will you
में
get
एक
money?
ये बताया
So
गया
this
है कि
verse
जब
is
आप
telling
इन्हीं चीजों की
that when
चिंता
we
करते
simply
हैं तब
keep
क्या
worrying
होता है।
about these
क्योंकि
artha and
भगवत
kama,
गीता
then
में
what happens?
भगवत गीता का
Because
आरंभ
in Bhagavad Gita,
जो
its
इसकी
beginning
पृष्ठभूमि है भगवत गीता की वो अर्थ और
is
काम पर ही
based on
आधारित है।
artha and kama only.
तो यहाँ ये
So
श्लोक
this
कहता है
verse
कि
says,
अर्थातुराणाम न सुहृत न बंधु,
it says artha turanam na
यानी कि
suhrit
जो
na
अर्थ
bandhu,
से
that
आतुर
one
है,
who is
आतुर का
atur
मतलब
for
पीड़ित,
artha, or one
यानी
who
कि
is
जिसके मन
troubled,
में हमेशा
or he is
अर्थ की
always
चिंता
in
लगी रहती है।
anxiety
अर्थ
for
माने पैसा,
artha
धन,
or money or wealth,
जो केवल धन
he is
चाहता
only
है।
anxious for
मैंने
getting
पिछली
wealth. I
प्रवचन
had
में कहा
discussed in
था
the
कि
previous
धन
class that
का जब निधन हो जाता है उसी को मृत्यु कहते हैं।
in
तो हम
Sanskrit
अपना जीवन
nidhan is
सोचते हैं
called
कि
death.
जब हमारे पास धन है तो
So
जीवन है,
we
और
think
धन
that if
नहीं
we
है तो
have
हमारा निधन
dhan,
है।
if we have wealth,
निधन
then
का
we are
मतलब
living, and
चला
if
जाता है,
if we lose the
किसी
wealth,
को तो
then we
मृत्यु
are
कहते
dead.
हैं ना कि उसका
So
निधन
that's
हो
why
गया।
in Sanskrit it is said nidhan.
तो हम सोचते हैं
Death
कि
is called nidhan.
धन में ही
So
जीवन है,
we say that
लेकिन
dhan is
क्या
life.
होता है कि जब हमारी उसमें
But
आसक्ति
what
हो
happens
जाती
is
है,
that when we are
आसक्ति का
attached
मतलब
to it,
उसके लिए हम बहुत
that we are
चिंतित
very
हैं
much anxious for
और उसी
wealth,
में हमारा मन
and our
डूबा
mind
हुआ
is
है, तो
totally
फिर हम
immersed
ना किसी
in
सुहृद की
thoughts of
चिंता
wealth,
करते हैं ना बंधु
then
की।
neither we think about the suhrit nor the bandhu.
भगवत गीता या
We don't
महाभारत
think
के
about friends or relatives or
ये जो
well-wishers.
युद्ध हुआ
And this
कौरव और
is
पांडव
discussed
में,
in
तो
Mahabharata,
इनके दो
the war between
प्रतिभट हैं।
Kaurav
भट माने
and
योद्धा,
Pandavas.
एक
There are
दुर्योधन
warriors on
है
two sides. One
और
side
दूसरी
there
तरफ
is
युधिष्ठिर
Duryodhan,
है।
other side there is Yudhishthira.
दोनों के नाम अगर आप
If
देखें
you
तो दोनों के
think
नाम में
about
युद्ध
both the
जुड़ा है।
names, both the names are
युधिष्ठिर का
connected
मतलब
with
होता है
war.
युद्ध में स्थिर
Yudhishthir
रहना,
means one who is fixed up or
युधि
sthira in yudh.
स्थिर,
Yudhi sthira.
और युधिष्ठिर
That is
का मतलब है
Yudhishthira.
संस्कृत के और दुर्योधन में भी
And in
योद्धा है।
Duryodhan also there is Yodha from Yudh
यानी
Dhatu.
दोनों ही लड़ाकू हैं।
Both are of fighting nature.
लेकिन लड़ किस
But
लिए रहे
what is
हैं?
the
एक
purpose of fighting?
काम के लिए लड़ते
One
हैं,
is
दूसरा
fighting
धर्म
for
को
artha
बचाने
and
के लिए।
kama, and the other is fighting for dharma and moksha.
ये दोनों में
This is
अंतर
the
है।
difference in both.
महाभारत में आरंभ में
In
ही
the beginning of Mahabharat,
में 18
there are
पर्व हैं,
18 parvas in
1
Mahabharat.
लाख श्लोक
There are 1 lakh
पहला ही
verses.
अध्याय
The
है,
first chapter
इसमें
of
ये स्पष्ट
Mahabharat,
किया
in that
गया
it is clarified,
ताकि हमें पता
so
चले
that we
और
understand. I had discussed this earlier also, that the pedagogy of the Vedic system of teaching,
बहुत
it is very deep.
शिक्षा देने के लिए उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी
For
पद्धति
teaching,
निकाली
they
है।
have a very advanced system, and that is through stories, because every person likes to hear stories. Our life is also a story.
हर काम एक प्रकार से एक
Every
कहानी
work is like a story. It's like a katha.
संस्कृत में बोलते हैं
In
कथम।
Sanskrit, it is said katham.
पूछना हो आप कैसे हैं,
So if you want to ask somebody how is he, we say katham.
कैसा है,
How are you?
ना आप कैसे हैं।
Katham.
तो जीवन भी
So
एक
life
कथा
is
है,
a
हर एक
katha.
व्यक्ति का जीवन
Every
एक
person's
कथा है।
life is a katha.
लेकिन उसको देखना है कि
But
वो
what has
कथा
to
जो
be
है
checked
वो
is
अर्थ
whether
और
that
काम के
katha
दोनों
is
तरफ
it
से जुड़ी
rotating
है,
around
और
artha and
धर्म
kama,
मोक्ष के
or
प्रति
it is rotating around dharma and
केंद्र
moksha.
है। तो दुर्योधन को कहा है कि दुर्योधन यहाँ महाभारत के पहले
So regarding Duryodhan, it is explained in the beginning of Mahabharata only that Duryodhan and Yudhishthir, they are compared with a big tree.
मन्युमयो महाद्रुम।
It is said that Duryodhan,
वो एक बहुत
it
बड़ा
is a
वृक्ष
very
है।
big tree.
दुर्योधन कोई साधारण
Duryodhan
व्यक्ति
was
नहीं है,
not an ordinary
लेकिन
person.
वृक्ष कैसा
But
है,
what kind of a
मन्युमय।
tree is he? It is Manyumaya.
यानी कि मन्यु बोलते
Manyu
हैं
means
क्रोध को,
anger,
ईर्ष्या।
envy.
और ईर्ष्या क्रोध कहाँ
And
से
where
आता
is
है? वो काम से आता है,
envy and
काम
anger?
भगवान कहते
It
हैं।
originates from kama.
That संगात संजायते क्रोध, क्रोध संगात संजायते काम, कामात क्रोधो भी जायते। काम से
So
क्रोध पैदा
from
होता है।
kama we get krodha or
तो ये
envy.
है, और फिर उसकी शाखाएं वगैरह।
And then there are
स्कंद
various
कर्ण है,
branches of the
इसका
tree of
शाखा,
Duryodhan.
इसका स्कंद कर्ण है, शाखा शकुनी है,
There is Dushasan,
दुशासन
who is the fruit of that tree. So and
बनाया।
like this, an analogy is
और
prepared.
युधिष्ठिर को भी महाद्रुम
Yudhishthir
कहा
is
गया है।
also called as Mahadrum.
धर्ममयो महाद्रुम। युधिष्ठिर जो है वो
Yudhishthir
धर्म का
is the
महाद्रुम है।
Mahadruma of
धर्म माने
Dharma.
वृक्ष।
Druma means vriksha
तो
or
वो
tree.
वृक्ष है, लेकिन धर्ममय।
Yudhishthir also is a tree,
ईर्ष्या
but
में
is the
नहीं,
tree of
क्रोध में
Dharma,
नहीं, मन्यु में
unlike Duryodhan tree, which is the tree
नहीं।
of
तो ये
envy and
दोनों
anger.
ही, दोनों का
So
युद्ध
it is
है।
the fight
और
between
हमारे
both.
जीवन में यही
And
युद्ध
in our
होता है।
life, this fight is always going on.
क्योंकि हम इस समाज में
Because
रह
in
रहे
this
हैं,
society, we
दूसरे
are
लोग
not
भी रह रहे
alone.
हैं, इसलिए
We are
समाज
living
में
with
एक व्यवस्था
others.
बनानी
So that's why
पड़ती
you
है,
need a system
जिसमें
in
लोग भगवान में
society,
विश्वास
whether
करें
people
या ना
believe
करें।
in Bhagavan or no,
लेकिन
but
व्यवस्था
the
को तो
system
मानना
has to
पड़ेगा
be
ना, उसके लिए
accepted.
नियम बनाए
So
जाते
that's
हैं,
why there are
उसके
laws.
देश का
Every
एक
country will
संविधान
have a
है,
constitution
और उसके
and it has its
कानून
laws.
व्यवस्था
There
है,
is a system of
न्याय
administration. There is
व्यवस्था
a
है,
system of
न्यायालय है।
justice.
तो वही
So
धर्म
that is
है।
the dharma.
तो धर्म को तो
So
मानना ही
dharma
पड़ेगा।
has to be
धर्म अगर हम
accepted.
नहीं मानेंगे
If we
तो
do
शांति
not accept
व्यवस्था होगी।
dharma, the system
लेकिन
of
क्या होता है कि
governance,
मनुष्य
then there
जो
will be
है
complete
वो
chaos.
एक छोटा रास्ता
But
निकालेगा,
human being's nature is that he always wants to find a loophole
काम ना करना पड़े।
so that I don't have to work and I should get the result.
मनुष्य की प्रवृत्ति क्या
The
रहती
human
है
nature
कि
is
वो
such
फल चाहता
that he
है, लेकिन
wants
उसके
the
लिए
result,
कार्य नहीं
but he
करता।
doesn't want to work to get that
और
result.
गीता में भगवान क्या
And
कहते
in
हैं?
Gita, what does Bhagavan say?
कर्मण्येव अधिकारस्तु मा फलेषु कदाचन। बिल्कुल
Bhagavan
उसका
says exactly the opposite
विरोध ही वाक्य बोल रहे हैं,
in
उसका
Gita.
opposite, कि तुम
That you
कर्म करो,
perform
फल
your karma
फल।
and don't be attached to the result.
भगवान का वाक्य है। और
And
मनुष्य
what does
क्या
human
चाहता
being
है
want?
कि
That
बिल्कुल
I should
फल मिल
get the
जाए,
result
काम ना
and
करना
I should not have to
पड़े।
work.
इसी का नाम
So this is
भ्रष्टाचार
called
है।
corruption.
भ्रष्टाचार और सदाचार
This
में
is the
यही अंतर
difference
है।
between corruption and
भ्रष्टाचार
civilization.
किसको बोलते हैं? भ्रष्टाचार का मतलब होता है
So
कि
corruption
बिल्कुल काम
means
ना करना
I
पड़े
should not have to
और
work and
फल
I
मिल
should
जाए।
get the result.
तो ये मानसिकता हमारे अंदर
So
घुस
this is a
गई
very
है।
deep
साधु के
rooted
पास
mentality
जाएंगे
in
तो वो
us.
कहेंगे मेरे को
Even if
आशीर्वाद
we
दो।
go to a
आशीर्वाद का
sadhu, we
मतलब
say
क्या
that
होता
give
है?
us some blessing.
वास्तविक आशीर्वाद है कि
Actual
वह
blessing
हमारा
is
जो
that
भगवान
our
का
mind
भक्त है
should
वो
be
आशीर्वाद
turned
वास्तविक
towards
आशीर्वाद।
Bhagavan.
लेकिन प्राय
That
करके
is
लोग
real
व्यक्ति
blessing. But
आशीर्वाद क्या
mostly
चाहता
what
है
type
कि
of
मेरे को
blessing
मैं
people want? that I should become rich, my work should become successful. So this is the corruption, that I should not have to work. You just bless me so that I get the result of the work without actually working. So it means that I have not done anything for that. You do that work for me by giving me blessing. And most of the sadhus who all are famous, who did this to this, who did that to that person, these type of sadhus are mostly famous. So this is called corruption in reality. And why is it called corruption? Our mind, our mentality is such that when we go to sadhu, we go with the mentality of corruption only. Actually, sadhu has nothing to do with all this blessing. So whichever grihastha is performing his work, he is performing his karma, and according to karma he will get his result. And the virakta, the sadhu, is one who has given his life to spirituality. Now we go to the sadhu and ask for material blessings. So this is corruption. You should go to sadhu, to the spiritual person, to get spiritual knowledge. Now Bhagavan could also have kept his hand on Arjun and blessed him that don't worry, you don't have to fight. Everything will be done. Arjun had gone to Dwarka to meet Bhagavan. So Bhagavan could have told Arjun that don't worry, you will win. This is why people go to sadhus, that this work should get done, that work should get done. But Bhagavan never said anything like this. Bhagavan said that I will drive your chariot, but you yourself have to fight. So Bhagavan does not want that we should become corrupt and lazy. That is why we have to maintain all the four wheels of dharma, artha, kama and moksha. So artha and kama have not been rejected in the Vedic system. Artha is also important, kama is also important, but they should be accompanied with dharma. So this is the teaching of Mahabharata, and the essence of Mahabharata is Bhagavad-Gita. So Mahabharata has been churned, and Gita is the essence that has come out. So Bhagavan has been referred to as Gopal in Gita Mahatmya, and he has churned all the Shastras and taken out Gita. So this verse says that those who are anxious for Artha, they will not worry for their Suhrit well-wishers, nor the Bandhus. So Yudhishthir is also in a brotherly relation with Duryodhan. They studied together, they played together. But when it came to wealth and kingdom, then Duryodhan said that I will not give you even an inch. So that's why neither Suhrit nor Bandhu. So this we can see in our family. So when we are young, then in childhood we live nicely with each other with love. But when we grow up, then there is so much fighting among each other. So this is very surprising that those who were living so lovingly in childhood, after growing up, they become enemies of each other. They don't want even talk to each other. They are ready to even kill each other. So why does it happen? Because of this. Artha turanam na suhrit na bandhu. That one who is anxious only for wealth, he has no suhrit, no well-wishers, no bandhu. So in order to explain this only, Vyasdev wrote such a big story. So this is what we have to understand. So if we understand this, then only, and we apply this in our life. This happens in everybody's life. It is not that it happened only in Duryodhan and Yudhishthir's life. This is common in everybody's life. Next is said, those who are kamatur, those who are always anxious for kama, they are neither afraid of anybody, they are neither ashamed of anything. Like we read in newspapers that regular we get news of this lady was raped, that lady was raped. Although there are such strict laws against rape, but when man's mind is totally afflicted by lust, then he has no fear and no shame that why am I doing this? So many we see here news that father is making relation with daughter, brother is making relation with sister. So there is no shame. that kama is such a thing which can completely corrupt or destroy a person's character. That's why in Gita Bhagavan says that kama is our biggest enemy.
क्रोध है ऐसा रजोगुण समुद्भव महाशनो महापापमा विद्येनम ही वैरिणम.
So kama is the biggest vairi, the biggest enemy of ours. We think that our enemy is sitting outside, somebody in some place, but no, our biggest enemy is sitting in our own heart. So as long as there is kama inside us, there will be krodha, anger only, and all others will come together. Then we will become, then we will have no shame in doing any kind of immoral activity. So in order to teach this, Vyasdev taught Mahabharata to humanity so that we can learn and apply this in our life. And it is not like that those who are very lusty, very kami, they are very happy. No, they have to face all these troubles. After breaking the law, they will be caught, and then they have to face all the results of their immoral activities. They have to face so much embarrassment in society, and they will be very miserable. One who is always anxious, one who is always having some tension, whether it is of artha or of kama, neither he will be having sukha, neither he will be happy. In Gita, Bhagavan is telling that everybody wants happiness, but if your mind is not peaceful, you cannot be happy. If you actually want happiness, then first of all, you have to keep your mind peaceful. If your mind is not peaceful, you can accumulate no matter how many comforts, how many means of happiness, you will not feel happiness, because the experience of happiness and misery doesn't happen in the body, it happens in the mind. Like we experience a form with our eyes, we experience smell with our nose, we experience taste with our tongue. Similarly, we experience happiness and distress with our mind. But if our mind is not peaceful, then we cannot be happy. Like if we have a painting in front of us or some text, if something is written, like there is a screen, the verse is written. So if we keep shaking our head, can we read it? We cannot read it. So similarly, if our mind is continuously shaking, then we cannot experience happiness. That's why it is said, Chinta Turanam na sukham na nidra, that will not get sleep also. Because sleep means we have to get rid of all the tension. So nowadays we have become so much advanced that we have to take tablets for sleeping. So is this advancement or it is degradation? That we should deliberate on that. The most basic need of our life, having food, drinking water, having good sleep, we can't do that also without consuming some tablet. Then what sort of advancement we have made? One who is hungry, he will neither have strength nor he will have any tej. So what I'm trying to explain through this verse is that the foundation of Gita is based on this. If we understand this, then we can understand Gita. Because Bhagavan has given the solution for these problems only in Bhagavad-Gita. All the problems of our life are in this verse. There is nothing outside this. This verse of Garud Puran contains all the problems of our life compressed and accumulated in this one verse. So the solution of the problems which this verse is telling, the solution lies in Bhagavad-Gita. Because we were having this topic earlier also, why should we study Bhagavad-Gita? Generally people ask this. So Gita takes us from Vishad to Prasad. So what is Vishad or dejection? Why do we become dejected? Like it was told in the previous verse. The previous verse says the cause of Vishad or destruction. The first chapter of Bhagavad Gita is entitled Vishada Yoga or the Yoga of Dejection. So this is the etymology of the word Vishada, Vi, Shad and Ghai. So it means to have dejection in mind, to become dejected, not feeling enthusiasm, feeling depressed. That is called Vishad. So in everybody's life, in each of our lives, there is Vishad happens, depression comes, we feel dejected. If we are not a spiritualist, if we are not walking on the spiritual path, then in our life, Vishad is guaranteed. Nobody can stop Vishad. Because Vishad comes in mind. And if mind is attached to Artha and Kama, then definitely we will have Vishad. And normally we don't analyze it so deeply like this. If we analyze it carefully, then mostly our mind is in Vishad or dejection or depression only. Those who have everything, they also have Vishad. Whatever we are trying to obtain, every person wants to attain something, but they will get many people who already have what we are desiring for. Then logically that person should be happy, because I am thinking that if I get this particular object or post or position or this much amount of wealth, I will become happy. But we will see many people in society who already have that which we are desiring for. So then logically they should be happy. But if we go and study their life, then we will see they are also in the same miserable situation like us. So happiness doesn't actually depend on these material objects. Happiness, for happiness, first of all, we have to purify our mind. And this is what Gita teaches us. So in Sanskrit, we have these two words, Vishad and Prasad. Prasad, generally people think that Prasad means what we went to temple and we got some Prasad, whether some sweet or anything. But actually Prasad means Prasannata or happiness. Prasad means pure mind. Prasad means when our mind is impure, it becomes pure. That is Prasad. So this is the derivation of word Prasad, Prasad and Ghai. So Gita begins from Vishad and ends at and takes us to Prasad. Prasannata. So Vishad is Vishanna. Vishanna means dejected. Prasad is Prasanna, means to be happy. But Prasad also means purity. So the first chapter is entitled Vishad Yoga because it shows Arjuna's Vishad or dejection. Arjun, who is such a big hero, powerful, strong, very intelligent, the most intimate friend of Bhagavan, he also had Vishad. So who are we? We are. But what is the last word of Arjun in Bhagavad Gita? What is the last statement of Arjun? Arjun says, Arjun uses the word prasad in his last statement in Bhagavad Gita. Prasad also means kripa or your mercy. So he said that my moha has been destroyed. I have my smriti has come back by your prasad. So that means Gita begins with Vishad and takes us to prasad. So now it is up to us whether we want to live in Vishad or we want prasad. If we want prasad, we will get it only from Gita. No matter how much we earn and how much we satisfy our lusty desires, we will not get prasad. Because Arjun is telling, I have got this prasad from you. The prasad can be obtained from Bhagavan only.
जिसके पास में जो कुछ है
One who has something, only he can give that.
यहाँ भौतिक
In material world, people have Vishad, so they will give us Vishad only.
बहुत लोग
Many people want that I should get married to him or her. It happens, and after then what happens? There is Vishad or no? We keep fighting. Those people for whom we were dying to get their association in our life, and we were telling that we can't live without you. And then after some time, we say, I cannot live with you. The same person for whom we were telling I cannot live without you, now we hate him or her so much. Why? This is how material world works. It's a law, it cannot be broken. This is how material world works. The same place from which we get happiness, from that same place or person only we will get misery. We cannot stop. If provided we are not devotee of Bhagavan, if we do not have the prasad of Bhagavan, then Vishad is guaranteed. Nobody can stop. That is why Gita is an extremely essential Shastra. In India, it is very easily available to us. So we should spend some time in Gita, at least spend 1 hour every Sunday to learn Bhagavad-Gita. So it will be useful in our life, in all fields of our life. It's not that Gita is useful only in the spiritual aspect of our life. We will learn how to manage, how to have good relations in family, how to have good relations with people outside. So everything is in Gita, but we have to study properly. People study Gita, they just recite the verses. That is also good, but we have to learn, imbibe that knowledge, and we have to digest it in our life. We have to actually apply that knowledge in our life. It was spoken for that purpose. So now we move ahead to the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The first chapter of Gita is called Arjuna Vishad Yoga. So this is a very strange word, Vishad as well as Yoga, because Yoga person thinks that Yoga means mind is peaceful, that is Yoga, that we are meditating. So Vishad, how can it become Yoga? How can dejection be Yoga? What is the relation of Vishad with Yoga? Because in Gita, the 18 chapters, every chapter is entitled, in its title, the word is Yoga. So first of all, we have to understand what is Vishad. We understood what is Vishad or dejection. That means dejected mind, not feeling enthusiastic, depressed, feeling sad, miserable, not feeling like doing anything, don't want to talk to anybody. So when people are generally, they are in Vishad, and if it is a very deep state of dejection, then people go and they get into some addiction. It's very common. They'll either get into drinking wine or taking drugs. So that is not Vishad Yoga. That is not some solution to Vishad. It is simply trying to forget the Vishad. So addiction can make us forget Vishad only for a temporary time. So because that addiction, its influence will fade away, and then we will again get into Vishad. In fact, now our Vishad will be even more, it will be deeper than the previous state of dejection. So what is addiction? In Sanskrit, Nasha is na shamyaya. Na means not, and sham means shanti. So addiction is that by which we don't get peace. So people do addiction or nasha for getting peace or shanti, but the word nasha itself means it will not give us peace. It simply takes us into tamogun or the mode of darkness.
को भूख लगी है,
So this addiction takes us into mode of ignorance. Now suppose we are feeling hungry, it means now I should eat food. So when I am feeling hungry, if I simply go out and play and all, and I want to forget my feeling of hunger,
सामान्य स्थिति होगी तब
will my hunger go down? No, I'm simply trying to forget it. So when we come back, we'll again feel hungry. So similarly, addiction is not a solution to dejection. So how to solve this dejection through yoga? That is what Bhagavad-Gita teaches us. So the word yoga has many meanings. One meaning of the word yoga is a medium or a way of solution, the method of solving something. So it's a method. Like if we have to go from, let's say, Vrindavan to Delhi, we go by car. So car is a medium. So one of the meaning of the word yoga is this medium or a method or a way of solving something. So similarly, Vishad can be made a medium or a way of solving our life's and ultimate problems. So when we get a situation in our life, it may be of two types. It may be favorable or unfavorable. So we can progress in both the situations, favorable as well as unfavorable. Even in unfavorable situation, also we can fall down, and we can fall down in favorable situation also. Both are possible. So it depends on our intelligence, our wisdom, how we utilize a situation. So one of the meaning of yoga is upayog or upay or method or medium or way of solving something. So when we have vishad or dejection, so then vishad yoga means how we utilize that vishad to progress in our life. One of the meaning of your word yoga is to meet. Like in mathematics, we may say that 2 plus 2 is 4. So there plus is yoga, connecting or bringing together. So how to make Vishad a yoga or a medium such that we can meet Bhagavan. This is what Gita explains. That is why it is called Vishad Yoga. And why do we get Vishad? What is the primary cause, primary reason that we have to understand? The primary reason for Vishad or dejection is our attachment. Asakti, some people in. So it means that we have some attachment to some object or some person or some post position or to some situation. We are attached to that. So that becomes a cause of our Vishad. Why? Because in material world everything is temporary. Whether some person or some post or some situation or some object, everything is temporary in this world. So if we become attached to that, now that when the situation will change or the person will change or the object will change, either we have to leave that or that object or person that will leave us. So there will be viyog between both, separation. So anything that we have in our life, it cannot be maintained in the same condition. Now our life may be going on very nicely. That will also change with time because it is a journey. So we are moving ahead. Although we are sitting in one place, still we should not think that we are not moving. We are moving. And whatever we have currently, and we are having viyog with that. So there is continuous viyog or separation with our existing situation. So it is guaranteed that each and everything that I have, I will have separation from that. And when there will be separation, I will become miserable. If I am attached to that object or person or that situation, then I will get into dejection if I am attached to that. But if I am not attached to that, then I will not get into dejection. So that is why the foundational, the ultimate cause of Vishad is attachment. And this attachment makes us weak.
अगर आसक्ति
If
रखनी
we
है,
want to
आसक्ति
keep
बनानी है, तो
attachment,
उसका आसक्ति जो है ऐसी
so
व्यक्ति, ऐसी
attachment to should be
स्थिति,
to such a
ऐसी
person,
जगह बनाइए जो
situation
नित्य
which
है,
is permanent,
और
or
नित्य है
and
भगवान।
permanent is only Bhagavan.
तो इसलिए अगर आपकी
So
आसक्ति
if we have
भगवान में है, तो
attachment
आप
to
कभी
Bhagavan,
विषाद में नहीं जाएंगे,
then we will never get
क्योंकि
into
भगवान तो
Vishad,
हमेशा
because
भगवान
Bhagavan
है।
is always Bhagavan. He was and he is and he will be Bhagavan. That is not going to change.
उनको तो किसी ने कोई वोट
He was
दिया
not
तो
made
भगवान
Bhagavan by some voting.
के 5 साल के बाद
Not that
आपको
after
बदल
5 years Bhagavan will
वोट
change.
मांगनी पड़ेगी।
There is nothing like that.
तो
So
राजनेताओं की
politicians are
चिंता
always
रहती है,
worried
5 साल
that
पूरे
now
हो
5
गए,
years are
चले
getting
जाएं।
over. Now how should I come back?
तो अगर वो ऐसे राजनेताओं में आप
So if we
आसक्ति
remain
करोगे,
attached
तो
to
कुछ हो
such
जाएगा, 5 साल
politicians,
बाद फिर
they may get
दोबारा
down
आता है, नहीं
after
आता है, फिर से
5 years. Then we will be in again trouble.
तो इसलिए यहाँ आप जो भी आप संबंध है आपके, आप समझ लीजिए।
So here whatever relations we have, we should understand that those relations are temporary.
संबंध नहीं थे,
Before we were born, those relations were not there. They have been made after our birth, and one day relation will get destroyed. Either we will leave them, or they will leave us, or both will leave each other. So in Nyaya Shastra, if you have these two hands, they are joined. This is called Sanyoga.
तीन प्रकार से होता है, एक तो ये हाथ
So Sanyoga happens in two ways. The right hand can come together to the left hand come towards right hand, or both come towards each other. So like that, separation is also of 3 types. Right hand may leave the left may leave right, or both may leave each other. So that will happen here. That is why we have Vishad or dejection. So the primary cause of dejection is attachment. So because of that we become bewildered. Our intelligence does not work properly. It becomes clouded by darkness, and we fall into tamogun, the mode of ignorance. And we are not able to take proper decisions, and because of that we take wrong decision and we act wrongly and we get the wrong result, and we have to suffer for that. So this is the cause of Vishad. Now what is the importance of Vishad? But already I explained that when we get Vishad, we should not hate the Vishad or dejection. It is simply an opportunity for us to upgrade ourselves, to move ahead, to progress in life. Normally we think that in our life, if every situation is favorable, then it will be great. But it is not like that. The unfavorable situations, they actually give us the lessons. Whatever good knowledge we have in our life, most of that we have learned from unfavorable situations only. From favorable situation, mostly human being doesn't learn anything. So this state of Vishad or dejection gives us an opportunity to learn something. If Arjun would not have been in Vishad or dejection, Arjun could not have learned Bhagavad-Gita. The cause of Bhagavad-Gita is actually Arjuna's dejection only. If Arjun would not have said that I will not fight, then there would have been no Bhagavad-Gita. Nobody would have got this knowledge. So this knowledge came out of the dejection only. So when we have unfavorable situation, then and if we become alert and our intelligence awakens and it starts working, when we are in some dangerous situation, we start thinking how to save ourselves. And when everything is favorable, our intelligence gets rusted because we don't have any need to use our intelligence. That's why Vishad is extremely useful in our life. But we should understand how to utilize the situation of dejection, how to make it a yoga. That we have to learn that art, and Gita teaches us that art. And because everyone gets this Vishad, there is no person in this world who we can say that I never had Vishad or I don't have Vishad. That is only possible that when one is a spiritualist. That's why we should learn this.
अब हम गीता के
So now we move ahead to the first verse of Bhagavad Gita.
भगवद गीता का पहला अध्याय का
The first verse of first chapter of Bhagavad Gita.
धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुत्सवः मामकः पांडवश्चैव किम कुर्वत संजय.
So the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, it happens with the question of Dhritarashtra, and this he has asked this question to his secretary Sanjay. His question is that in this so here you can see the word meanings. Dhritarashtra Vacha, King Dhritarashtra said that, O Sanjay, that having assembled in the place of Dharma, which is named Kurukshetra after King Kuru, with the desire to fight, what did my sons and the sons of King Pandu did after that? They do after that. So these are the word meanings. This is the translation that King Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, having assembled in the holy land of Kurukshetra, eager to fight, what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do? So this is a very deep question, and there is a lot of tattva inside this one question. So first of all, we should understand the background of this question, why this question was asked. So actually this question this was not asked on the first day of the war at Kurukshetra. This question was asked on the 10th day. So Dhritarashtra is actually the first student of Bhagavad Gita, who heard Bhagavad Gita first after Arjun. That is Dhritarashtra. And the speaker is Sanjay. So this battle, before this battle began, Vyasadev, he had come to Hastinapur. He lives in Badrinath in Himalaya. He came from there. He met Dhritarashtra. He tried to explain to Dhritarashtra that you are capable of stopping this war because you are king, and you should be ready to give 5 pieces of land to the 5 Pandavas. But King Dhritarashtra did not agree. So then Vyasadev said that your entire dynasty will get destroyed. So Vyasadev told Dhritarashtra that if you want to see this war, and I can give you the divine vision, sitting here only you can witness the entire war. So Dhritarashtra rejected that offer. He told that, no, I was blind my entire life. Now, what is the use of taking eyes and witnessing the destruction of my dynasty? So this is very surprising that some person is blind and he should be very happy to get eyes, to get vision. But what happens is that in our life, we get addicted to every situation. If we eat the wrong type of food, we get addicted to that and we start liking that only. Like there is a story that there was a lady who was selling fishes, and she went to sell fishes. She was carrying the basket of fishes on her head. One day she went to another village, and from there at some distance her sister was there. So she said that she thought that, okay, let me go and meet my sister. But sister was not dealing in fishes. So they were very happy. They started discussing with each other. They started discussing about their childhood. So at night, when it was time for sleeping, so she made a nice bed to sleep. So the lady was not able to sleep. Only sister was asking what has happened. Why are you just moving here and there? Why are you not able to sleep? She was telling that here I am not getting proper smell because she was so addicted to the smell of fish. So wherever you will find lot of fishes, you will feel lot of smell, or foul smell. You will not be able to stay there. But this lady was so much addicted, she was not getting the smell of fishes and she was feeling disturbed. So the sister told that what this basket of fishes that you have brought, spray some water in that and the smell will come out and then you will get sleep. So like this, I had studied earlier that when this train had arrived in India, when the driver, he was driving the train, so there was continuous sound in that, and his building was near the railway station, so always he was getting sound. So if he would not hear that sound, he was not able to sleep only. So like this, we become addicted to some situation. We get used to such situation. So King Dhritarashtra said that no, I don't want this vision. You give it to Sanjaya. So then Sanjay got that vision. So Sanjay was actually in the battlefield. Till 10 days, Sanjay was also fighting. So all the young people, they had to, they got into the battlefield. And on the 10th day, when Bhishma fell down, so it was a very big event on the battlefield. But nobody had even imagined that Bhishma, he can also fall down and he will get attacked so severely that he will fall down from his chariot. Because Shikhandi came in front of Bhishma and then Bhishma said that I will not fight because he considered Shikhandi a woman and he did not want to attack any woman with weapons. And he had told this earlier only to King Yudhishthir. Because King Yudhishthir, he had gone to Bhishma and he wanted blessing. He told that you have blessed us that we should get victory. But as long as you are on the chariot, how can we win this battle? So as long as Bhishma was on the chariot, there is no person in the three worlds who can defeat. Even Lord Parshuram, who defeated Kshatriyas 21 times, even he could not defeat Bhishma. So then Bhishma had said that if Shikhandi comes in front of us, then I will stop fighting. And then you tell Arjun that he should attack me with the arrows. Because these arrows of Shikhandi, they can't do anything to me. So actually, it is said that Bhishma fell down by the arrows of Shikhandi. But no, actually he fell down by arrows of Arjun. So this was a very big event. The Bhishma falling down. So Sanjay, he went to Hastinapur from Kurukshetra just to convey this news of Bhishma getting attacked. So when Dhritarashtra heard this news, then he asked this question. Tell me from beginning. Actually, the question is meaningless because the battle was anyway going on. So what is the point of asking? So what is the actual intention behind asking this? He actually wanted to know in detail. Because if we hear some big news, then we tell some person that tell me from beginning in detail what happened. Although we may know, we may have some idea of what happened, but still we want to know it in detail. We want to get a very detailed description of the event. So for that reason, King Dhritarashtra asked Sanjay that, O Sanjay, having assembled in the holy land of Kurukshetra, eager to fight, what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do? So the entire Bhagavad-Gita is actually the answer to this one question. Because Dhritarashtra did not say anything after this, only Sanjay kept on describing. In the entire Bhagavad-Gita, we don't find any interjection by Dhritarashtra. Arjun and Krishna's dialogue is there inside, but that dialogue is actually inside the discussion of Dhritarashtra and Sanjay. And in that also, in the out of 700 verses, this is the only verse by Dhritarashtra. Remaining all are actually spoken by Sanjay. So this is from where Gita begins, and in the next session we will discuss this verse in detail. There is lot of tattva in this particular verse, and we'll try to understand it properly. We will stop here today. If anybody has any question, kindly ask.
Regarding relationships in this material world, how we can love without becoming attached.
So love without attachment is not possible. प्रश्न है कि इस संसार में हमारे जो संबंध हैं,
so the question is the relations that we have in this world, how can we have loving relation without attachment? Actually, love and attachment, they are synonymous only. Without attachment, how love is possible? So this is actually not possible. If you actually love somebody, then there will be attachment. That is what is taught in this world. If you have this type of attachment, then you will have Vishad. You cannot escape that dejection.
There's one question. Gita Jayanti happens on Ekadashi, but this question was asked on the 10th day. So could you explain how it came?
तो गीता तो एकादशी को बोली गई ना.
So Gita was spoken on Ekadashi. How is this asked on 10th day? So Bhagavan Krishna told Gita to Arjuna on Ekadashi, and later Sanjay spoke. The war began on Ekadashi.
ठीक है.
Says Purushottam Prabhu.
बोलिए.
Seeds or Magh, how to tell it? Next month after Kartik, it was the Ekadashi.
Yeah, next month.
यानी विषाद योग का क्या उपयोग है, क्या उपाय है विषाद का?
विषाद का उपाय भगवान की भक्ति.
वही उपाय बताए.
यही तो अंत में गीता में कहा ना.
हरे कृष्णा.
हरे कृष्णा. बोलिए.
कि भारत में बहुत बड़ा युद्ध हुआ था, वैसे ही भगवत गीता का मतलब क्या होता है?
फिर से बोलिए.
जैसे महाभारत का मतलब भारत में बहुत बड़ा युद्ध हुआ था, वैसे ही भगवत गीता का मतलब क्या होता है?
भगवत गीता का मतलब होता है भगवान का गीत. भगवान का गीत. गीत जानते हैं ना आप, सॉन्ग.
So what is the meaning of Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita means the Geet or the song of
गीत गाया.
Bhagavan.
बोलते हैं तो गीत ही गाते हैं.
When Bhagavan speaks, it is Geet only.
जब वो चलते हैं तो नाचते हैं. कथा गानम चलनम नाट्यम. भगवान का चलना जो है वो नृत्य के समान है.
Bhagavan's walking is like
उनका बोलना वो
dance. His speaking is like singing.
Manu?
Okay, Manu.
Haribol Maharaj, do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. attachment leads to dejection. How to deal with attachment in bhakti yoga in service? Let's say you are doing a service and you get thrown out of that service, but you are attached to that. Then you get very sad. Should you also not be attached to service? How to deal with this?
So you have to deal with that also. You have to see that this is also Krishna's arrangement. Maybe he is giving you better service. If you are eager to do service, you will always find service. तो प्रश्न ये है कि भक्ति में आप सेवा करते हैं, आपकी सेवा में आ सकती है, लेकिन उस सेवा से आपको निष्कासित कर दिया जाता है.
So question is, if you have attachment and you are out of your seva, so devotees, their shraddha is in Bhagavan. So if being removed from some service, there must be some plan of Bhagavan. He must be trying to give mercy in some other way. So you should think that there is some benefit for me in that also. No need to get dejected.
Alka?
हरे कृष्णा बाबाजी महाराज प्रणाम पहली बार मैंने सुना आज
So question, first time I learned today that Bhagavad Gita was actually spoken on the 10th day.
मेरा प्रश्न ये है कि 13वें श्लोक में तो अर्जुन
That in the
पितामह को देखते हैं तो कैसे समझा जाए?
नहीं, वो तो उसका वर्णन कर रहे हैं ना, जो संजय उस समय बता
So
रहा है,
this is actually a description that is being done by Sanjay. He is describing what happened in the past.
टेलीविजन पर कोई
Like if you see any news in the television,
कहीं पर किसी ने भाषण दिया,
so somebody gave some speech somewhere, somewhere some accident happened, they show that this happened, this building fell down or something. It doesn't mean that when the news is being relayed, it is happening that time. It already happened. They just made a video recording and they are showing that. So similarly, Sanjay is describing what already happened.
धन्यवाद महाराज, धन्यवाद.
Neeraja?
हाँ जी, नमस्ते बाबा जी. मेरा सवाल ये है, तो इसका मतलब भगवान
Question, for understanding Bhagavan, is Vishad Yoga compulsory? Because when we have dejection, then we can connect better and we are more serious in understanding. So Vishad or dejection is not compulsory. But here it is being said that if there is Vishad, how you can convert, make it a yoga. It doesn't mean that Vishad, without Vishad or without dejection, you cannot go to Bhagavan. If you can convert Vishad to yoga, then Prasad you can make it yoga much easily.
अर्जुन जैसे महान योद्धा को भी भगवान का पूरा जो लीला है तभी समझ में आई थी जब वो खुद विषाद.
So question, when even a great personality like Arjun, he got connected to Bhagavan when he got Vishad. So answer, it doesn't mean that you cannot understand Bhagavan without Vishad. Gita was told because Arjun was in Vishad and it was told for that. It doesn't mean that Gita cannot be studied without Vishad.
ठीक है, धन्यवाद.
Madhukar ji?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I have two questions, Maharaj. And one thing is, I've heard that the Vishada is necessity for us to know about ourselves in a deeper way. Based on this question, but my concern is that, so when we are depressed, when we want to know ourselves in a better way, at the time we also need a right person. So when situations are there in such a way that we don't have that person, most probably we may tend to lose that circumstances, lose that mind, or lose that emotion, or lose that kind of mental composure. So when we lose that sort of receptance attitude in us, so what we can do to better ourselves? So this is my first question, Maharaj.
तो पहली बात तो यह है कि ये आवश्यक नहीं है. तो प्रश्न उनका ये है कि
So the
विषाद
question
योग
is that
होना आवश्यक है अपने आप
is
में
it
शुद्ध
necessary
होना
to
चाहिए,
have Vishad Yoga
जिसमें
to
आपको
understand
एक योग्य
ourselves?
व्यक्ति भी
And
चाहिए
then we
जो आपको
also need a
समझा सके।
qualified person who
और
can
अगर ना
explain
मिले
to
तो फिर
us. If
हमारी
we
जो
don't
वो
get such person,
उत्सुकता है वो
then
समाप्त हो जाएगी।
our inquisitiveness
तो
will
पहली
get
बात तो मैं
destroyed.
कहना
So first
चाहूँगा
of
जो
all, I
बाबाजी
want
ने
to
मुझे
clarify
प्रश्न के उत्तर में भी कही
that
कि
I
ये
told earlier
आवश्यकता
also
नहीं
that
है
Vishad Yoga is
कि
Vishad is not
विषाद योग में ही
compulsory.
आपको ज्ञान
There is
प्राप्त
no
हो
such
जाएगा,
condition that you
और
get
लाभ हो
knowledge
जाएगा,
only in
या
Vishad.
जो भी कहिए आप। नहीं, ऐसा नहीं
It's
है।
not like that.
ये तो यहाँ दिखाया गया है कि कैसे
It
ऐसी
is
स्थिति में
being
भी
shown
आदमी
here that even in such
भगवत प्राप्ति और या भगवत ज्ञान प्राप्त
situation,
कर सकता है। एक कैमुत्य न्याय होता है।
also we can get knowledge of
कैमुत्य न्याय का
Bhagavan.
मतलब होता है कि अगर मेरे विद्यार्थी हैं,
So
पांचवी
Kaimutya
क्लास के
Nyaya
विद्यार्थी,
is applied here
और
that
वो
if
जब
I am a
आगे जाके
student
किसी को हरा
is in a
देता है, तो
fifth
मैं
standard
कहूँगा
and he
कि ये
goes and
पांचवी
teaches
क्लास के
somebody,
विद्यार्थी ने हरा
is
दिया,
it that
और
if a
जो
fifth
PhD का
standard
विद्यार्थी है वो
person
फेल रहता
can
है,
defeat him, then what can a
तो वो
PhD
उसकी फोटो
student do?
उधेड़ देता।
He can totally
इसको
destroy.
बोलते हैं कैमुत्य न्याय। तो कहने का मतलब है कि
That is
विषाद
Kaimutya
योग में
Nyaya.
भी आप
So
भगवत ज्ञान
if you
प्राप्त
can
कर
get
सकते
knowledge
हैं।
even in
तो प्रसाद
Vishad or
में यानी
dejection,
कि
then
आपको
in
प्रसन्न
Vishad Yoga, then
मिलता
in
है, तो कितनी
this
बढ़िया
in
बात
good
है।
situation when you have prasad, what all you can
इसका अर्थ
obtain.
है,
That is what it
कहने का
means.
मतलब ये है कि आपको
What we are
विषाद के
trying to tell
लिए
is that
प्रतीक्षा
you
नहीं करनी
should
है,
not wait for
लेकिन अपनी जो
the
स्थिति
situation
है
of
उससे आप
dejection.
गीता का
Whatever
ज्ञान करना
situation we are in, we should try to
दूसरा ये
understand
है कि अगर
Gita.
वैसा योग्य व्यक्ति नहीं मिलता है,
Second
तो
point, if we
संकट
do
नहीं
not
आती है,
find qualified person and
तो
our enthusiasm
इसके
gets
लिए आपको
destroyed,
सुनना चाहिए।
so then
आजकल तो
we
बहुत
should
कुछ
try to
उपलब्ध
hear
है,
nowadays
सत्संग से
lot of
ज्ञान की
knowledge is
प्राप्ति होती है,
available.
सत्संग
With
करके।
satsang we get
जहाँ भी हो
inquisitiveness.
वहाँ
So
सत्संग
wherever
प्राप्त
we
करना
are,
चाहिए,
we
तो
should try to
निश्चित
get
रूप से
satsang and we should try to
उससे
learn
आपकी
something
जिज्ञासा
from
जो
the
है
satsang.
उद्दीप्त रहेगी, बनी रहेगी,
So then our
और बढ़ेगी।
inquisitiveness will be maintained. It will in fact increase.
Thank you, Maharaj. One last question. In the shloka, Dharmakshetra Kurukshetra Samaveta Yudsaha, there he tells that Kima Kurvata Sanjaya, what have they done? So, but still nothing has happened there. So, what does the shloka mean? I'm not getting that word.
So this श्लोका just उनका प्रश्न है कि
So the question is
श्लोक में
that
क्या है, तो मैंने कहा कि श्लोक का जो है ना
what does this verse mean
विस्तृत
actually?
वर्णन अगले
So I
कक्षा
already
में
said that in the next session I
एक एक
will
शब्द को लेकर धर्मक्षेत्र और
explain
कुरुक्षेत्र
every
क्या
word
इनका
in
अर्थ है,
detail, what the
कीमा
word
कुरुवत
means.
का क्यों कहा उन्होंने, और युद्ध सभा होने के लिए साथ में कीमा कुरुवत की क्या संगति है, तो ये मैं अगले उसमें कक्षा में इसका वर्णन करूँगा।
Okay, Nara, I'm sorry, this is my last question and I'll stop it up. So right now I'm in a dire need of association. I was trying since a long time because I have a lot of materialistic friends, I have a lot of Advaitin friends, but somewhere I'm not feeling satisfied. It feels like a shallow, despite of despite of being with them, because of my isolation from the devotees. So I'm feeling dire need of association, but with phone calls, I've been in touch with many devotees, but still something is not satisfied in me. So I don't know how to get out of this feeling. So I need some devotees to at least, I want to learn from them, but nobody is there with me because of my work schedule and other things. So I'm not able to come out of this feeling. So is there any suggestions for me in how to get into that? This kind of feeling is making me mad because nothing is satisfied in life. Like that sort of feeling is coming. Everything is there, but some sort of satisfaction is not there just because of one reason, that I'm not in the midst of a devotees.
तो आप मेरे प्रवचन हैं इंग्लिश में फेसबुक पर और क्या स्पॉटिफाई क्या है?
So the answer is that I have a lot of lectures on Bhagavatam on various platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. Every day I give class evening 8:30 on Srimad Bhagavatam, Monday to Friday. You can hear that.
मांग सकते हैं,
You can take the link from the devotees here.
चैट में लिख सकते हैं वो लिंक को। मधु, if you are there, you can send the link in the chat.
Maharaj, I'm listening to your Bhagavatam's lecture, Maharaj. I mean, just that nobody is there with me as a devotee and physical. so that I can learn from them, so that I can be with them. So when I have some important questions, I could directly ask them. So that sort of association I'm missing. That's it, Maharaj. I'm hearing your lectures in YouTube and even Spotify. I'm happy with that. But just that I have that lack. I'm not with any devotees. That is what my problem is.
तो अभी तो मेरे को मालूम नहीं है आप कहाँ पर स्थित हैं. अगर आप हैं तो आप कभी कभी वृंदावन आ सकते हैं.
So the answer is sometimes you can come to Vrindavan, and I don't know where you are situated.
Okay. Okay, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj. धन्यवाद.
Ran Pujari ji.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी. प्रभु जी, मेरा सवाल एक्चुअली दो पार्ट है. पहले तो आपने बताया कि विषाद दुख है, डिसअपॉइंटमेंट है, डिजेक्शन है, वो तो या तो आपके खुद के कर्मों से आएगा या फिर प्रभु जी दूसरों के कर्मों से भी हम दुखी होते हैं, जैसे हमारी फैमिली, फ्रेंड्स.
So the question is, we get lot of misery from family, friends, etc. Also, it seems as if we are surrounded all the time by dejection, but sometimes we get happiness also. It's like a mixture that we keep getting. So within this environment, and I have now job also, even in my work life, always there are ups and downs. So amidst all this, how can I keep myself composed? So I started practicing that, reduce expectations from people, from situations. So I'm trying to train myself to reduce expectations. So people also, they tell that if you want to excel in life, you have to become competitive. You need wealth also. There is family, you have to look after them also, look after children, their education, marriage. For that we need wealth. So amidst this rat race, in this type of life, how to learn Bhagavad-Gita and apply it in our life? How can we do that effectively? We cannot leave our job, we cannot leave our family. There will be expectations, there will be attachment. How can we balance all that? So now only started hearing you. My first step was to hear you. That has started. So the answer, whatever work you do, you can do it in anxiety or without that. So you're doing your job. So do your job, but why do you have to keep anxiety? It's not necessary that anxiety and job should always be together. There's no rule like that. Like you are going in vehicle to Delhi, you may have worried that I will meet an accident, this may happen, that may happen. Many people keep thinking this only. And one is that you are driving, what will happen anyway happen. But from my side, I drive properly, carefully. So what happens is that mostly a lot of our anxieties are useless, which are of no value. So in Bhagavad-Gita, Bhagavan will tell about this, that what is not in your control, being anxious about that is a waste of time. So now you have to think that on whatever topic on which I am worried, you can make a list of topics on which you are worried and check, do you have any control on those topics about which you are worried? Like suppose I become worried that I may get, okay, suppose I have been told that I have a cancer and I will die in this much time. Now I may keep worrying and be anxious that I will die in this many months, this many days. And another point of view may be that anyway I have to die, so why should I be worried about that? Means there is no solution for that. That anything happened, that death is certain. Now what is the use of whole day and night being worried? What will happen to my family members, my building, my property? But you can't do anything about that. So in Gita, Bhagavan says, there are a lot of statements of wisdom of Bhagavan in Gita.
करोड़ रुपए का एक वाक्य है।
So this is a $1 million statement.
अगर आप इसको याद रखें तो आपकी चिंता
If we remember this, then you will become free of worry. So Bhagavan is telling
समाधान करना
that are not when there is no solution for anything,
समाधान नहीं है,
that is apariharya, when you don't have solution.
मानो कैंसर हो गया,
Like I gave you example, suppose it has been told that I have cancer, that there is no solution, you have to die means die. So what is the point of worrying about it?
हो जाएगी, ये प्रश्न करना है आपको।
By worrying, my disease, will it get solved or that problem will get solved?
मैं इसको अच्छा कर पाऊंगा, चिंता करने से क्या मेरे को लाभ होगा?
What is the benefit of being always worried?
तो प्राय करके हम व्यर्थ की चिंता करते रहते हैं।
So mostly we are worried about things all waste. So it has become our habit to always remain worried. So we should apply our intelligence. So this karma bandhan, this bondage, this is our this is anxiety only. So in that we should apply our intelligence. Bhagavan has given us intelligence. Bhagavan has given lot of emphasis on intelligence in Bhagavad-Gita. We have to use our intelligence. That why am I being worried about this? We have been given a faculty of wisdom, intelligence in our life. We don't use that, and because of that we always remain worried. So this like Bhagavan here, who is a charioteer, an analogy which is made that intelligence is the charioteer in our life, and the mind are the reins of the horses. So Bhagavan is representing here intelligence. He has given us intelligence. That's why he says that I am the intelligence of intelligent. Intelligent, everybody is intelligent. Intelligent does not mean like somebody is very intelligent, that Bhagavan is not talking that intelligence. Like who is wealthy? If I have 10 rupees, that 10 rupees is also wealth only. So do I not have wealth? So even if I have 10 rupees, I am also wealthy only. So one who has less intelligence, he is also intelligent only. So everybody is that. So in Gita, Bhagavan is telling that I am the intelligence, but we don't respect that. So when Bhagavan is telling that I am intelligence, we don't respect Bhagavan, that we are not respecting that intelligence. So I recommend you to make a list of your anxieties and check that which all anxieties are actually useful. What you have control, you can remove that, and those anxieties about which you can't do anything. Let's say your boss is of very angry nature. Well, what can you do about that? You can keep getting worried. That's what we have to check here. So we should use our intelligence and improve our awareness.
Ankit ji?
नमस्कार सर, मेरा सवाल ये है कि आपको भीष्म पितामह को अर्जुन ने ही मतलब एक तरीके से मारा, बट मैं गीता में सुनता हूँ या
So the question,
आवाज ठीक से नहीं आ रही है आपकी।
हेलो, अभी आ रही है क्या?
ऊंची नीचे हो रही है। बोलिए।
Deepak पूछते हैं, so practically if we are facing dejection, we should analyze what is that we are attached to. After doing this, what is the next step?
The next step is not to be attached. तो मैंने पहले ही कहा ना कि आप
I told earlier only that your attachment, what you are attached to, will anyway not remain. The object that will anyway be separated from us. Why, if you keep holding on to that, that is going to become the cause of your dejection. What is anyway going to get separated from you, you cannot stop it from getting separated. You don't have any power of always maintaining it with you. So, and you are investing your attachment in that. So you are yourself sowing the seed of your dejection. This is what is being explained in Gita. So why to maintain that attachment? So we have to first understand it properly. It is not so easily, we don't get so easily it in our intelligence. We are always surrounded with worries, and we always have that habit of always being in anxiety. We think that because of anxiety only we get motivation. So little bit of some anxiety is understood, that should be there, otherwise we will not do anything. But if we always remain immersed in anxiety, then we can't do anything. So that is why we have to check. We have to try to analyze what are we getting out of this attachment. But it is not so easy to get rid of that attachment. It's very difficult. Why so difficult? Because we have always been used to that. We have become accustomed. We have become addicted to always remain in anxiety. So this anxiety, the attachment, which is the main cause of our anxiety, we have become addicted to remaining attached. Many people, they smoke cigarette. So actually, what is a bigger foolishness than this? You are taking some smoke inside your lungs, isn't it? And you are spending money also for that. If you check properly, what is a bigger foolishness than that? That in your own body, the machine or the organs by which my body is functioning, on which my body is depending, and on this body so many family members are depending, I am putting smoke inside that body and knowing that this smoke is very dangerous. The smoke doesn't give any benefit to the lungs, and for that I am spending money also. But we get used to, addicted to that also. We can't live without that. One who has this habit, if you don't give him that cigarette, he will die. So like this we get wrong habits. So this is just for one example. One who is used to drinking, no matter his liver may get destroyed, but he will drink. Like this, people are addicted to smoking, same. So like this chinta, this worry, we remain addicted to that. We remain attached to that. If I don't have some anxiety, we feel that our life is empty. Yeah, I am telling the truth. There are people like this, that they don't have anything for which they are anxious or they have tension in their life. So they keep creating tension. This is how our mind works. If I remove all your worries now, then immediately you will create 10 new worries. We have become addicted to this. We have become so habituated that we can't live without anxieties and worries. But the day you will start living without this, then you will start realizing that this is real life.
मोहिनी पूछती है, क्या मन का उद्देश्य शांति है? मन का उद्देश्य, मन का कोई उद्देश्य नहीं होता.
What do you mean? What do you mean objective of mind? There is no objective of mind. If the mind would have any objective like this, it would have remained always. It would have remained peaceful. Mind, manas, or mind is not some person who has some objective.
Vidya Chauhan ji.
बोलिए. ठीक है, बंद करते हैं. और कोई है?
अनंत कृष्ण जी.
अनंत कृष्ण जी बोलो. बोलिए. गायब हो गए. चलिए, ठीक है. तो श्लोक हमारे कहाँ गए? थोड़ा मंगलाचरण के श्लोक बोलते हैं। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपाल नंदनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मंत्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा। कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेतः यच्छ्रेयः स्यात् निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्। यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिर् ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांघ्रये भवे भवे यथा भक्तिः पादयोस्तव जायते तथा कुरुष्व देवेश नाथस्त्वं नो यतः प्रभो। नाम संकीर्तनं यस्य सर्वपाप प्रणाशनं प्रणामो दुःख समनस्तं नमामि हरिं परम्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम तत्सत्।